welcome back to Crisis Point Racing. Today we are going to be installing the MGW shifter into the TrackVette. What we're looking for here is faster shifts, we are looking for safer shifts, and we're looking for a less notchy feeling than the old stock shifter that came out of the Corvette. MGW actually has a really good video on the installation for this. However, it is a little dated. So what I would recommend to you as a viewer is to watch their video first and then watch my video. What I'm going to show you is there have been a few changes to the installation procedure, and there's a couple things I want you to look out for. Number one being that they talk about super lube that's included with the package in the current box, but when I went to look for it, there was no super lube to be found. So I did about 15 minutes of Googling on the web and found some people saying they no longer supply that. So save yourself 15 minutes and do that. The other one is the lower shifter box assembly before you put it in the car. They do tell you to align things a certain way, but there is one more alignment that you'll see in the video where I mess up, and it cost me an extra 15-20 minutes on that as well. So something to look out for there. So again, watch their video, then watch this video. I don't go through every single step the way they do, but I do show you some of the tips and tricks that I learned when putting this in there. So without further ado, let's get started, and see you soon.
Okay, we've got the console off. We've got the center console out of here. We're going to go ahead and start getting this shifter apart. We're going to go ahead and get these off with the 10mm bolts. Go ahead and get her in neutral. Go ahead and get the shifter boot straight off the top here. There we go, one shifter boot. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and get these 4 bolts out, also with the 10mm, being careful not to drop them down into the torque tube area. That would be bad. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, so here's the shifter with all 4 bolts out. What we're going to do now is just kind of wiggle on it, bring it straight up. Go ahead and get it out of the transmission here. Here we go. All right, there's our shifter, old shifter. Okay, here we are back doing the bit with the MGW shifter. I wasn't actually going to do a video on this today because I had watched their videos and said, man, these videos are way better than anything I was going to do. But there are a few interesting things with this install. Actually, the hardest thing that I thought would happen was the installation of these Dynamat and heat pads here to keep the heat off the exhaust to torque tube from coming up into your transmission area. That actually wasn't too bad. If you, with a little bit of pre-planning and being judicious about where you put the sticky part of the pads, it wasn't too bad. I got those in there pretty well. A couple of the interesting things are in the video. They actually talk about applying the super lube to the rod ends there. No super lube is now included with the installation package. So what I did is I just grabbed as much as I could and rubbed it up and down on the shaft there. That sounds awesome, but we'll be content with that. Another interesting thing that they've done now is they've added this plate to perfectly align your shifter. So I've installed this plate, got it on there pretty well. You can see the little hole is halfway covered up like they show in the video. So that's easy enough, and we'll go ahead and try and install this now, and I'll let you know how it goes. Into the first problem with the instructions already. One of the things they tell you is to make sure that when you assemble this box that this end with the slot in it is to the correct side. However, they don't tell you which way the cup is supposed to be. So I found the large part of the cup, the meatier part, goes towards the bottom. But it would appear that I've put this in backwards. I'm going to have to disassemble this and swap the rod around to get it in the right spot. So another 20 minutes probably till I'll be ready to do this. All right, let's see if we can install the box here. This plate should hold everything in the right position. This isn't moving anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and grab this and see if we can slide this in and see if it actually works out. Okay. It's a bit of a tight fit here. There we are. All right, and we're in. All right, perfect. Okay, here we are with the box installed. So in the video, they actually want you to tighten this bolt up, the linkage bolt here, pretty tight. I found it a lot easier to go ahead and put these in at least part way to give you some leverage to tighten this bolt up here. All in all, not too bad. It is a very tight fit here with all the Dynamat and thermal shielding that you got here, but not too bad getting the box in. Okay, here we are, moment of truth to see if this all works out. We're going to go ahead and remove these, the guide that they give you here. Alright, remove the guide. We should be in exactly the right spot here. Alright, grab our MGW shifter with the logo pointing towards the driver as per the instructions. Get rid of this lube pouch here. And let's go ahead and get this in. Oh, wait, hold on. Don't forget the silicone gasket. That would be bad. Alright, that's all nice and lined up. Let's go ahead and get this in here. Alright. And that is a nice fit. Go ahead and get these bolts in with the nylon on them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up in the crisscross pattern as described in the video. Then I'll tighten up these set screws down here and we should be good to go. I'll be back. Okay, so following the instructions, I had the video cutting out the lower part of the dust boot. I did go around with a nice new razor blade and go around the top rim of the first bellow there. And well, I would say it's not perfect, but I'm going to go ahead and try and give it a install now. This is kind of what you're left with, is just the lower bellow and then the upper bellow. So yeah, we'll give this a shot. Hopefully it makes a good seal, and we'll be right back. Okay, I think we got that right. It looks like 3 continuous bellows, like in the video. Everything looks good, kind of all the way around. It wasn't too hard. They said it did take some time. It does. I recommend, if you're wearing gloves, to take them off while you do this step. It makes it a lot easier. The gloves don't get caught in the little nooks and crannies that you create when you're shoving it down. But yeah, 3 continuous bellows are there. Didn't take too long, maybe 5-10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down and then move on to the next step. Okay, so we're getting the handle, shifter handle on here. Just to make sure we note this, it's the nut It's the jam washer and then the regular washer down here at the bottom. One of the things I've heard on YouTube and a few other places that screwing this all the way down into the shifter assembly can produce some unwanted results. It'll feel a little tight, won't really do what you want to. You don't get the leverage on the knob that you really want. So I've actually backed this up a little bit so you can see there's a little bit of room here. I'm going to back it out just a bit, maybe, I don't know, quarter, half inch worth. I'm going to leave it about right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and tighten this thing down and leave it at this height and see how I like it. So just a tip there from some things I've read. All right, we'll go ahead and get this part complete. Okay, so here we are with everything buttoned back up. I've got the shifter on. I have test drove it a couple times. What I ended up doing was definitely backing this off a few turns to make it a little less tight in the shifting. I did actually install the anti-venom mod as well, which is putting a washer on the transmission detent to give you a little bit smoother shifts as well. So the combination of those two has been superb. Very happy with the finished product. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.